them. They're pretty cool. They're really cool.
Okay, so I'm Amber, this is Lydia and Abigail, and this will be my third year going to Hungary, Lydia's third year as well, and Abby's second year. So when we go over to Hungary, we spend 2 weeks there with Hungarian nationals who are our peers, maybe a little older than us, and we do English classes with them for a week. The first few days that we're there, we do some training to get prepared for camp, and then we have a week-long English camp. And so like a typical day at camp would be English classes, games and fun activities, and then a Bible study in the evening. So we just get to spend the whole time sharing God's love with them and hanging out and having fun.
So I was thinking this morning about why I go to Hungary and why I'm going back for a third year, because there has to be a reason that I keep coming back to the same place in Eastern and Central Europe, just back to Gyor in Hungary. And I thought about it, and yes, the adventure is fun, the travel is really cool, and the food is pretty good too, and it's really a really fun trip. But what really keeps bringing me back is the people and the friendships and the relationships and the opportunity to bring hope to a country and a town and people that essentially don't have much hope, because there's about less than 1% of people over there have a relationship with Jesus that is substantial at all. So just the opportunity to show the love of Jesus, and like Amber was saying, the week at camp, we get to be Jesus to these students that might not see Jesus in any other way. And so Josiah Ventures, which is the program we do it with, they're all about equipping the national youth to share their faith with their friends and be disciple makers in their schools and their families or wherever they go. And what's really cool is that we've witnessed this in Hungary. We've seen friendships with Hungarians that have turned into a discipleship, which has a ripple effect to their friends. And an example is our friend Paul, who actually came and visited us over Christmas break, and we got to spend a week with him here and had a lot of fun. So that's just a really good friend. And Paul came to camp our first year, and that's when he started his relationship with God. And over the next couple of years, he's just been inviting friends. And him and his friend Sabi came last year, and now they're co-leading this next camp. And that's just a perfect example of what it is to be a disciple who makes disciples and who makes disciples.
As Lydia was saying, camp had a huge impact on the Hungarians there and us as individuals. I went on my first missions trip last summer because the reason was because I noticed a huge difference in Amber, Lydia, and the rest of those who went on the first missions trip. There was just a clear, it's like a clear separation of almost like them before camp and them after camp, and it was just beautiful to see that they were just really hungry to continue to develop the relationship with God in an even more intimate way, but there was a huge difference on how they lived their everyday life here at Hayward, and especially in our youth group. They were really intentional about inviting people to come and join, really intentional about how they nurtured their relationships, and how they talked about having a relationship with God with others. So noticing this huge change in them, that it's like you just saw this light that is just like there's something really different. And it was really attractive that I was just like, I want that. I don't know how to get it, but we'll find out. So then going into Hungary last year, I got to witness everything these two girls just explained. All these amazing relationships that God developed with the Hungarians, and that we were able to develop into friendships with them. And just then also experiencing a more intimate deepening of a relationship with God. And Hungary is the perfect testing ground for what it is like to do every day with God. And that was just completely amazing for me, and that was the push I needed to experience, because I think sometimes it's hard just going throughout everyday life. It can be mundane. Sometimes you need a drastic push, like going to Europe, to show you that you can do the same thing, reaching out to people, being intentional, and sharing your faith and sharing the love of Jesus with people around you. So I realized that I don't just get to do that in Hungary. I get to do that here in Hayward. I get to do that wherever I'm at, whether that be work, school. I can't tell you how many amazing stories we have about new kids coming into youth group this year and amazing things happening within our own friendships and families, and how so many people are just finding and developing their relationship with Christ because we're just walking and doing everyday life with Him, and everything else just falls into place. Um, so leading off of that, I'm going back to Hungary again this summer because I see the impact of that ripple effect and how it can transform a person and how it has transformed the Hungarians, my team members, and myself. And I would love to continue to do that, continue to keep doing that. So I'll be going 2 weeks ahead of the rest of the group and hopefully getting more Hungarians to come to camp to be able to have this experience and make these connections, because it has changed. Having a relationship with Jesus just absolutely changes how you do life. And this trip has drastically helped us do that as well. So.
Thanks, Anya. A young lady named Megan was invited to youth group in December by Abby, right? And Megan would say now that the reason why she came to youth group was because she didn't have homework that night when Abby asked her to go to youth group. So she did, and her life, she would say, has never been the same. She's actually going with us this summer to Hungary, and we were doing our testimonies about a month ago as a group, just sharing how we came to know Jesus. And Megan was looking at all the people in the circle. There's 12 of us that are going. And she goes, the reason why I have a relationship with God is because of you guys. So even in the team that's going, Megan, one of them, is new to what a relationship with God looks like and how to live that out. And now she's going to go to learn how to share that with other people as well. So this has just had a drastic impact on the students that have gone, as well as this ripple effect of what's happened here among high school students. So it's just been amazing to see. So really excited.